You refuse to obey our laws?
The laws have made me little to me.
Fine. Kill them.
I need to help you.
I don't need any help.
Really?
Cinema has seen its fair share of reboots, but few characters carry the weight of Van Helsing. First introduced in Bram Stoker's 1897 Dracula, this legendary vampire hunter has evolved across literature, film, and television, cementing his place in Gothic horror. Now, Universal Pictures is preparing to reintroduce Van Helsing to a new generation, with horror heavyweight James Wan producing and director Julius Avery at the helm. With Avery confirming that the project is still in development despite years of silence, fans are left wondering, will this reboot breathe new life into the character, or will it become another failed attempt at reviving Universal's classic monsters? The Van Helsing reboot was first announced in December 2020, part of Universal's shift away from its failed Dark Universe, a scrapped attempt at building a shared cinematic monster franchise. Instead, the studio is now focusing on standalone films, a strategy that worked well for 2020's The Invisible Man, which found critical and commercial success by modernizing a classic story. Avery, known for Overlord and The Pope's Exorcist, confirmed in April 2023 that he is actively writing and directing the project, with Wan producing. Avery's work in atmospheric horror suggests that this Van Helsing won't be a simple action fantasy like Hugh Jackman's 2004 adaptation, but rather a film rooted in fear and tension. This raises a crucial question. Will Avery's approach be the key to success, or will it alienate audiences expecting an action-packed monster hunt? While Universal has not revealed official plot details, it's almost certain that Van Helsing will face vampires, most likely Dracula himself. The hunter versus vampire dynamic is central to the character's mythos, and any attempt to tell his story without it would feel incomplete. However, Avery's horror background suggests a deeper, more psychological take on the material. Modern horror has leaned into character-driven narratives, exploring fear beyond the supernatural. Films like Hereditary and Midsommar have shown that horror can be both terrifying and emotionally compelling. Could this new Van Helsing focus more on the man behind the legend, his obsessions, fears, and moral dilemmas, rather than just his battles? At the same time, the film has an opportunity to introduce new characters who could complement or challenge Van Helsing's mission. A fresh supporting cast could add emotional stakes and new layers to the lore, setting this adaptation apart from past versions. As of now, Universal has made no casting announcements, but fans are already speculating on who might take on the role. Given the reboot's commitment to originality, Hugh Jackman is almost certainly out. This leaves room for a fresh take, one that could redefine the character for modern audiences. Names like Dan Stevens from The Guest and Legion, and Tom Hardy from Venom, Mad Max Fury Road have been thrown around in fan discussions. Both actors bring the necessary grit and intensity to portray a determined yet haunted monster hunter. But the real question remains, should Universal go for a well-known face or take a gamble on a lesser-known talent who could make the role their own? Whoever steps into the role will need to strike a balance between strength and vulnerability. Van Helsing is more than just a monster slayer. He's a man of intellect and conviction, often teetering on the edge of obsession. Casting will be crucial in defining the film's tone and its appeal to both longtime horror fans and new audiences. While the Van Helsing reboot has promise, it also faces significant hurdles. For one, Universal's history with reboots has been inconsistent. While The Invisible Man succeeded other monster revivals, like 2014's Dracula Untold and 2017's Tom Cruise's The Mummy, failed to leave a lasting impression. This raises concerns about whether Universal has learned from past missteps. Additionally, some believe that horror fans can be fiercely protective of classic characters. If this reboot strays too far from the gothic elements that define Van Helsing, it risks alienating core audiences. On the other hand, some are of the opinion that, if it leans too heavily into nostalgia, it may struggle to distinguish itself from past adaptations. Another challenge is competition. Horror is a thriving genre, with new films constantly pushing boundaries. For Van Helsing to stand out, it must offer something unique, whether through its storytelling, visual style, or character dynamics. Though production details remain scarce, Avery's past films suggest that audiences can expect a blend of practical and digital effects to create immersive horror sequences. If handled correctly, this could deliver a fresh and terrifying take on vampires, one that moves away from the romanticized portrayals of recent years. Music and sound design will also play a vital role. Horror relies heavily on atmosphere, and a well-composed score could elevate tension and dread. While no composer has been announced, a strong musical direction will be essential in crafting a memorable cinematic experience. Director Avery has also hinted that the upcoming Van Helsing film will dive into the character's hidden past, specifically his training within an ancient order. This suggests a departure from previous adaptations that largely focused on his role as a monster hunter without much backstory. By exploring his origins, the film has an opportunity to redefine Van Helsing not just as a fearless warrior, but as a man shaped by personal loss, moral dilemmas, and a lifelong battle against darkness. This emphasis on character development will likely extend into the action sequences. Rather than merely serving as high-octane set pieces, the action could be used to reveal Van Helsing's motivations, fears, and internal conflicts. For instance, his fighting style may reflect his past traumas. Perhaps a particular combat technique is tied to a devastating loss, or his encounters with supernatural entities force him to confront past failures. These layers would elevate the film beyond standard monster battles, making each confrontation a test of Van Helsing's resolve and growth. Moreover, the presence of an ancient order hints at a structured mythology behind his training. Will this organization be secretive and morally ambiguous, forcing Van Helsing to question their true intentions? Could there be internal conflicts within the order that add political and ethical complexity to his mission? If the film explores these dynamics, it could offer a richer, more compelling narrative than a simple hunt-and-destroy plot. The Van Helsing reboot stands at a crossroads. With a talented director and producer attached, it has the potential to bring something fresh and exciting to Universal's horror legacy. However, the road to reinvention is fraught with challenges. The key to success will be balance, honoring Van Helsing's roots while pushing the character into new compelling territory. If Avery and Wan can deliver a film that respects the Gothic horror tradition while appealing to modern audiences, this could be a defining moment for the franchise. As anticipation builds for this fresh take on Van Helsing, there are plenty of questions to consider. What aspects of previous adaptations should be revisited or completely reimagined? Who would be the perfect actor to bring Van Helsing to life? Which classic monsters should make an appearance, and how could they be integrated into the story? Let me know your thoughts and comments below. And if you've made it this far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.